What is going on, ladies and gents, and welcome back to another video. Today we are checking out Dr. Bright. Now, we haven't checked out much on Dr. Bright. One video I've seen that involves him is the immortality video with the whole necklace, and if you haven't seen that, you can go check it out. But obviously the whole immortality medallion thing, he's trapped inside it, all that good stuff. And a few people have requested we check him out because, yeah, obviously he's a big part of it. You know, he's a big part. And one other video I was requested was 50 things that Dr. Bright is not allowed to do. I've been made aware there's well over 200 things he's not allowed to do. But yeah, to get more insight into that, I want to check out a video on him first. So we're going to check out Exploring the SCP Foundation's video, because Exploring series is a great fucking channel. You know, subscribe to him if you haven't already. Makes great content and all kinds. You know, we checked out his whole Warhammer stuff. We're going to check out a lot of his SCP stuff, you know. So yeah, we're going to get into this, man. But before we do, if you are new, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you always see when I post videos. The grind is real, man. We're grinding towards the next milestones, man, of subscribers. We hit 1K very recently. But yeah, anyway, like I said, if you're new, subscribe. Join our Discord for all the latest updates. You can follow me on Twitter also for latest updates if you don't have Discord. But yeah, let's get into this.
Dr. Bright.
Alright, Governor.
Throughout this series, we've discussed monsters, aliens, phenomena, apocalyptic scenarios, and multiple shadowy organizations.
Correct.
But we haven't really talked...
Here's a question for you guys. Question of the day. Who is your favorite, like, SCP person? As in, like, including doctors and all of the people. So that would include Dr. Bright, all those doctors, Dr. Wondertainment, you know, all of those. Or is it Mr. Wondertainment? I think... Fuck's sake. Of all the people, who is your favorite? I think Wondertainment is my favorite right now. And if you count the fish that he made, the fish guy, he is my favorite. But yeah, let's continue.
About the specific people that work for those organizations. Most of the material you read about a group such as the SCP Foundation contains scores of faceless doctors, agents, and D-class personnel.
Redacted.
But there are sometimes notable individuals. What would cause someone to work and continue working for an organization like the SCP Foundation?
Immortality?
What would that kind of work do to their psyche?
Jesus.
This video will look at perhaps the most famous individual working for the Foundation, Dr. Jack Bright, as well as other members of his family involved with the group.
Really? His whole family?
Jack's parents, Adam and Evelyn, were working for the SCP Foundation.
Really? Adam and Evelyn? Like Adam and Eve? Okay, buddy. I don't think that's a direct link, right? Maybe it's just coincidence, but yeah. It's a bit odd, no?
Time during the 1800s. Adam as a junior researcher, and Evelyn as a medical assistant. Although Adam was apparently one of the founding members of the Foundation, if you follow this canon. Together, they had 5 children. Mikkel, Jack, TJ, Claire, and Sarah. Sarah was stillborn.
Can we have a moment on why a few of those names are very regular and a few of those names are a bit odd?
Adam, desperate to bring her back to life, utilized several SCPs.
God damn it.
One of these was SCP-590, TJ Bright, one of his sons.
Wait, his son is an SCP?
TJ was born with the incredible gift of being able to heal any injury or ailment, both physical and mental, that an individual might have, simply by touching them.
Crazy.
The downside of this ability is that TJ receives the injury or ailment upon himself, experiencing all of the pain, after effects, and mental aberrations that the subject was experiencing.
That's fucked up. So can you recover it? I don't know if anyone's seen that film Paul. You know, the alien with, like, the alien that comes down, and then, like, this film with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. It's not a great film, but that alien has similar powers to which he can heal your injuries, and it comes and he gets the injury, but he recovers from the injuries, it seems, in that film. Like the girl who has, like, a fucked up eye, and then he like gives her a regular eye. Stuff like that, he could heal your injuries. So yeah, his son could heal injuries. And let's take a moment, Mr. Adam Bright. So your daughter is born stillborn, which is basically she's born dead. She's gone. You know, she's no longer with us. You decide to use your son to try and revive this dead baby. So what are the let's take some possible outcomes. Number 1, nothing happens, which it seems like I don't know if you can cure death. The uncurable illness, right? 2, what if it works? Does she come to life and he dies? You're gonna sacrifice your son for your daughter that you haven't met and you don't know what she's like? Goddamn weirdo, bro.
When he was young, he could choose to consciously activate this ability, but after puberty, it became an involuntary effect.
Oh, shit.
In conjunction with other SCPs, Adam Bright used TJ's ability to bring his daughter back to life. But she was...
So I'm just going to say, he couldn't control it after he got, what, puberty? 12, 11, 12, 13, whatever. He couldn't control it anymore. He couldn't turn it on. So let's say I doubt he'd be just walking down the street, but if you have a weird medical ailment that's not that bad, some silly, like some weird thing, maybe you have a little injury or some shit, right? And he touches you, he just heals you, and he gets it. That's a bit mad.
He was taken into Foundation custody immediately afterwards, and soon was designated SCP-321.
Right.
TJ was also taken into Foundation custody because of this, becoming SCP-590. And by this point, Mikkel was already working for them.
Yes, Mikkel.
SCP-321 was found to be capable of recuperating from any injury at 5 times the normal rate of a human, believed to be caused by an overabundant production of stem cells. Additionally, 321 has continually aged and grown since her rebirth, and is currently 3.1 meters tall and weighs approximately 110 kilograms. She shows no signs of stopping growth, and at a certain point, her heart was reaching the limits of its circulation capabilities. An artificial heart was created and implanted into 321's body, allowing her continued growth and existence.
This does not look like a fun existence, bro. Fucking Adam, what have you done to us, man? You used your son to revive your daughter, but your daughter is fucked. Because, obviously, the stem cells, she just keeps growing. She looks like a bloody... I don't know what she looks like. Slender Man? Like, look, she looks like she ain't got no muscle, just bone. Her heart gave up. I mean, a big problem with people that have that disease where you don't stop growing is... Yeah, your organs can't keep up. You have a problem with your bones are brittle, you can't walk, all that stuff. She's fucked. She's 3 meters tall, bro. I mean, she's like, she wouldn't fit in here.
Despite her age being at least over 100 at this point, her intellectual capabilities are similar to that of an infant, taking months to learn a simple task,
Lord have mercy.
And she's unable to speak more than nonsensical noises. After being taken into Foundation custody, her father, junior researcher Adam Bright, requested that she be removed from SCP status, but he was denied. Later, Personnel Director Adam Bright again requested she be removed from SCP status, and it was again denied.
Ouch.
Much later, Site Director Adam Bright suggested that they can learn nothing more from SCP-321, and that her SCP designation be removed. But again, he was denied.
Yep, that's what happens. Deserved.
Finally, 05-12, Adam Bright made a note that SCP-321 is to be decommissioned and returned to her family immediately, but he was shut down for a final time.
Yikes.
He was told that she was not now, nor has ever been, his daughter, and that if he attempted this again, the Council would remove him. In reaction to this, Adam Bright resigned from the O5 Council, an unprecedented action as it's typically a lifetime position. By this point, Mikkel Bright was also on the O5 Council.
Wow.
And Jack had moved up in ranks as well. At some point, SCP-590, TJ, had accumulated enough injuries to leave him bedridden and on life support, unable to breathe on his own. A single dose of SCP-500 brought him back to full health, however, and his abilities are used on Foundation personnel of researchers and above, as an alternative to utilizing SCP-500. By the insistence of Jack, TJ was used to cure several cases of mental retardation, reducing him to the mental level of a 3-year-old. Jack likely did this to mentally protect his brother from understanding what the Foundation was doing to him. TJ now spends most of his time watching children's television shows and coloring, although he does have his moments of surprising lucidity.
Not the worst life, I guess, in his circumstances, watching cartoons and coloring in books. It's fun for a 3-year-old. He's got a mentality of a 3-year-old. It's kind of fucked up that his brother made him mentally retarded, but, yeah. Oof, that is a tough one, man. That is a tough one. This family, bro, they're fucked up, bro. They are fucked up. All the way from the dad. Who's the mum? Where's the mother? Where's Evelyn? Because She needs to have a word with this guy, because this he's delusional. You know, your daughter's dead. Okay, your daughter died. That's a shame. It's a sad moment. But you don't use your son to revive your daughter. You don't do that. Okay, now he's salty that his daughter is now an SCP. Well, she is, because she has the mind of a newborn baby or a child, and she's continuously growing and probably can't do anything by herself. Your son is also an SCP, which he seems not to give a shit about his son at all. He doesn't want to bring his son home. What? And his other sons are also in the SCP Foundation. Mikhail was on the O5 Council with him, and Jack. Wait, is Jack the right Bright? Dr. Bright? Is that the right Bright we're talking about here? I mean, we know what happens to him, so you're...
Which brings us to Jack Bright himself, who followed in his parents' and brother's footsteps, and also joined the SCP Foundation.
Do you think he had a choice?
Claire, meanwhile, who possesses the ability to see into the future, would go on to join the Serpent's Hand, a counter-organization to the SCP Foundation focused on spreading awareness
How
of
does
the
the
paranormal.
whole family have gifts? What?
Jack joined after his brother TJ went into Foundation custody, and became a junior researcher of good standing. He was eventually assigned to researching SCP-963, a white gold amulet containing a ruby surrounded by 13 diamonds. 963 was discovered in the apartment of an individual who apparently committed suicide, surrounded by supernaturally related books, and was brought into the Foundation since it was found to be incapable of being damaged. Later that...
Pretty sure he did. Didn't they say in the video he shot himself because he tried to put himself in the amulet? But the only way you get put in the amulet is if someone actually kills you. Suicide doesn't work.
That year, SCP-076, Abel, breached containment, leading to a large number of casualties.
Oh, it was Abel!
Dr. Bright happened to be walking past 076's containment unit at the time, transporting the amulet by hand, and was killed by Abel.
I said Abel to yeet.
A few days later, a D-Class assigned to clean up the rubble picked up 963. A noticeable change went over the D-Class, who began referring to himself as Jack Bright.
Yikes.
Upon removal of the amulet from his possession, all of his higher brain functions ceased until the amulet was returned. Apparently, the individual that created the amulet hoped to gain immortality by binding his soul to the amulet so that he could possess whomever touched it. His ritual failed, however, due to the simple fact that he killed himself to initiate it, rather than being killed by some other force.
What's the difference?
Jack Bright activated the amulet correctly when he was killed while holding onto it, binding his soul to it. When the D-Class picked it up, it overwrote his mind with the mind of Dr. Bright, including all of his memories. This allows Dr. Bright to be functionally immortal, as long as someone eventually touches the amulet, whether it be a human or some other creature or animal.
Oh shit.
So
he can control anything. Even SCPs maybe. Mad. So you can literally have your pick of whoever you want. If you can somehow get the amulet into their hand, you could literally control whoever you want. You can have whatever body you want. That's crazy.
Since the amulet is invulnerable to damage, the only way to prevent this would be to keep the amulet locked away.
Right, but
since Jack Bright is a loyal member of the Foundation, he's allowed to continue to operate. However, there is a side effect of 963.
What is that?
If a subject maintains contact with the amulet for 30 days,
Oof.
their consciousness becomes a duplicate of Dr. Bright's,
Ouch.
and removal of the amulet does nothing. Since this would allow Dr. Bright to make potentially unlimited copies of his mind, sanctions were put into place to prevent this. Although, so far, Dr. Bright has not attempted to break this rule. So far, Dr. Bright has found no way to release himself from 963, not for lack of trying. On the flip side, the Foundation actually spent some time trying to recreate 963, eventually resulting in 963-2. All information on 963-2 has been expunged, so it's unclear exactly what it does.
Didn't work, did it?
It's likely not good.
Yeah, didn't work.
Dr. Bright has so far jumped between countless bodies, including male and female humans, animals, and SCPs.
That's crazy. So Dr. Bright's living a fantasy of many people. He gets to experience what it's like to be not only just a man, but a woman, and an animal, you know, and probably an SCP. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, Dr. Bright's loyalty and intellect, combined with his immortality, have certainly been a benefit to the Foundation. It's also taken its toll on Bright's psyche. A tale that demonstrates some of the consequences of 963 is the executions of Dr. Bright, although keeping in mind it does take place in the Broken Masquerade canon, where information about anomalies is public. In it, Bright is part of a team operating in the Middle East, where they are suddenly captured by armed terrorists. They possess knowledge of Bright in 963, and proceeded to kill the team one by one. However, they started with Bright, and then put the amulet on another member of the team, so that they were killing Bright each time.
That's fucked up.
The rest of the team waited in horror as their associated minds were wiped and they were killed. The tale gives us a sense of how much Bright resents his condition, and in turn grows to hate himself. A consistent theme across a number of tales is Bright's deep-seated desire for release from 963, and his inability to do so. The tale Code Brown describes a Bright family reunion that occurs because of Claire's death while working for the Serpent's Hand. We see that the Bright family is large, including children, grandchildren, cousins, and so on. Practically none of them seem to get along very well.
I wonder why.
Mikkel seems to have fathered a large number of children in his younger days, now collectively known as the Unnumbered Brood.
So what you're telling me is Mikkel didn't have a hobby? He needed to buy a television or an Xbox or a book. Yeah, what a surprise.
Evelyn, Jack's mother, also makes an appearance, and is said to sometimes be referred to as the Mother of Monsters, as she apparently spends her time creating creatures. It's clear that the Bright family is not a typical one, each with their gifts and quirks.
How are they all alive still?
Dr. Bright has developed a reputation over the years of being eccentric, to say the least, but it's fair to say that he hasn't had the most normal of lives.
Yeah.
Between the tragedies associated with his family and his own unfortunate situation, Jack has suffered more than any one person should. He ultimately believes in the Foundation's methods and goals, despite what they've done to him and his family, and continues to work for them, becoming the site director of a number of sites. He so far has not reached the rank of 05, perhaps due to his mental state, or perhaps because the Council would rather not have what is technically an SCP sitting amongst them.
Yeah, probably true.
I hope that this video has provided some greater degree of insight into the backstory of Dr. Bright, who is certainly not a normal member of the Foundation.
That's what I do.
But is nonetheless an integral part of it.
Oh, we become quote time, eh? Oh, it's always a long one. Always a long quote. I'm afraid, Clef said, of what it will imply when the most powerful and influential member of the Foundation is an SCP himself. I worry that not now, not 100 years from now, but someday you will have lived so long and become so strange that you are no longer human, and by then you may be too powerful to stop. So that threat must be nipped in the bud now. What if I never become a threat? You will, Clef said firmly. No one who lives as long as you can stay human. The best and wisest man who I have ever known. Is Dr. Clef meant to be the smartest man around? Well, that was fucked up, really. I mean, that whole family seems pretty screwed. You know, obviously, Adam, their dad, was part of the initial founding party of the SCP Foundation. Obviously, he wasn't like a high-up member straight away, because he wasn't on the 05 Council straight away. He worked his way up from what seemed to be janitor, almost, like from janitor to CEO almost. That foundation, he started off as a junior researcher. So like his kids and his wife, I mean, all weird. Somehow his wife is still alive however many years in the future. They seem immortal themselves, really. Lord knows how they've stayed alive so long. I think he said they keep themselves alive through anomalous ways or whatever. But, you know, you have those two, then you have their children, Mikhail, who obviously went to the 05 Council himself. So you had two of them sitting on the 05 Council. Don't know how many families get two people there. He didn't really mention what the mum or Evelyn did too much, except she was now a monster creator or some shit. I thought it was referencing her children, but, you know, we'll move on. You have TJ, who is he takes injuries. Now he's mentally retarded and he's like 3 years old. He has flashbacks like PTSD, but really and truly, he doesn't really do too much about that. The daughter is pretty much, you know, she's basically a walking cyborg. She's basically, I don't want to say a waste of space, you know, but she's like, there's no point in her being alive. Like, he shouldn't have tried to revive her, because now she can't really do anything. She's got continuous growing. Her body can't even handle it, whatever, you know. I want to know what happened to Adam in the end, but yeah, it's a bit of a shame. And then you got Jack. Jack is now trapped in an amulet, and Claire, whatever, Her name was Serpent's Hand. Did he say she died? I don't remember, but he said what happened to her. But anyway, man, definitely one of the weirdest families, man. Definitely a fucking odd family. But yeah, man, thank you for watching this video, man. If you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Check out some other videos while you're here, and I'll see you all next time.